All right, let's get right into it. What we're about to do here isn't some simple review or a friendly financial chat. No. Think of this as a forensic takedown of one of the most trusted pillars of personal finance, the 401k. We are going to dismantle it piece by piece, and we're going to use the industry's own data to do it.
Now that might sound like hyperbole, but I promise you, it's not. It is a mathematical reality that has been systematically hidden from plain sight. By the end of this analysis, you're going to understand that this statement isn't extreme. It's just a cold, hard fact. The system is not your friend, and frankly, it was never designed to be.
So we're going to build this case methodically, section by section. We'll start with the indictment, the mainstream advice that leads so many people astray. Then we move to the evidence, the hard numbers. After that, we'll get into the history, the psychology, and finally, the most important part, the actionable protocol to protect yourself.
Okay, so first things first, we begin by attacking the sacred cow. We're not talking about some niche financial product here. No, we are talking about the advice that's shouted from the biggest pulpits in personal finance. Advice that's been pushed by mainstream figures who have literally built empires telling you to trust this very system.
Let's be crystal clear. This casual attitude about fees, the stuff peddled by popular financial gurus, is probably the single most destructive force in the average American's financial life. So when you hear someone say, "Who cares about a 1% fee?" you need to understand you're listening to either a fool or someone who's not being straight with you. That 1%, or often 2%, isn't a small tax on your returns. That is the first big deception. It is a tax on your entire balance, year after year after year. It's like a parasite that attaches itself to your life savings and just devours your future growth.
So, here's the crucial point. The entire system is built to perform this massive, silent transfer of wealth from your pocket directly to Wall Street. You put up 100% of the money, you take 100% of the market risk, and for that, you get to watch the lion's share of your own profits get siphoned off before you ever see a dime. This isn't a metaphor, it's a mathematical description of exactly what is happening. So let's move to the evidence, because when you see the actual numbers, the scale of this whole thing is just staggering. All right, now we strip away all the marketing, all the folksy wisdom, all the slogans. We're just going to look at the raw, undeniable math of expense ratios. This is what the founder of Vanguard, the legendary Jack Bogle, called the tyranny of compounding costs. And believe me, it is the engine that drives this entire deception. This is the question the 401k industry prays you never actually ask. Because the answer is, well, it's terrifying. They want you to think of that fee like a sales tax, right? A minor annoyance. But it is not a one-time tax. It's a perpetual wealth-eating virus that just multiplies every single year.
So let's run the numbers. Let's take two identical investors. They both start with $10,000. Both had $5,000 a year for 40 years. And they both get the exact same average market return of 7%. The only thing we're going to change is the fee. Investor A, she picks a simple low-cost index fund, fee of 0.04%. Investor B, he follows the common advice, picks a good growth mutual fund from his 401k menu, which has a pretty typical all-in fee of 2%.
And this chart, well, it shows the devastating result. After 40 years of the same savings habits and the same market performance, the results aren't just different, they are in completely different universes. Our low-fee investor has over $1.6 million. Investor B, the one who followed the common advice, has less than $800,000. Just let that sink in for a second. The difference isn't a rounding error. It is a staggering $870,000. That's a house. That's years of a comfortable retirement. That is the difference between financial freedom and financial anxiety. All of it just gone because of a small fee.
Let's be really precise about the damage here. That 2% fee didn't just reduce your return by 2%. No way. It reduced your final nest egg by over half. Why? Because you didn't just lose the fee itself each year. What you really lost was all the future growth that money would have generated for you for decades. You literally killed the compound interest on the money you were forced to give away.
So where did that missing $870,000 go? This slide breaks it down perfectly. You look at the total profit generated by Investor B's money, Wall Street took more of it than he did. The fund manager literally made more money from your account than you did, and they took zero risk to do it. Your capital did all the work, and the house took the majority of the winnings. And that is the brutal reality of it. You work the land, you plant the seeds, you weather the storms and the droughts, but the Lord of the Manor gets to take most of the harvest just for allowing you to work on his fields. It's a fundamentally feudal arrangement. So how in the world did a system this predatory become the default retirement plan for an entire nation?
You know, the crazy thing is the 401k was never supposed to be your main retirement plan. Its origin story isn't some grand design for the American worker. It's a story of a tax loophole, corporate convenience, and ultimately the corruption of a pretty simple idea.
This timeline really shows you this deliberate transfer of risk. Before 1978, we had pensions, defined benefit plans. The company promised you a check for life, and that risk was a huge liability on their books. Then, in 1978, the Revenue Act creates Section 401k, but it was just a perk for executives to defer bonuses. It was a consultant named Ted Benna who realized, hey, this could be used for all employees. And corporations, staring at these massive pension liabilities, didn't see a benefit for their workers. They saw an exit strategy. They saw a way to kill the pension, wipe that liability clean off their books, and shift 100% of the retirement risk directly onto your shoulders.
This is the key economic model that explains the entire scam. Think about it. In a normal transaction, you choose the service and you pay for it. But with a 401k, your employer, the agent, chooses the plan provider. But it's you, the principal, who pays all the fees. So what does your employer care about? Not low fees for you. They care about easy administration, liability protection, and low cost for the company. The 401k provider sells to your employer's needs, not to yours.
And this is exactly why your 401k menu is usually just a list of expensive, mediocre funds. It's because of a system of legalized kickbacks called revenue sharing, often powered by something called a 12b-1 fee. This fee is basically a payment from the mutual fund company back to your 401k administrator just for the privilege of being on your investment menu. A cheap, simple index fund doesn't generate enough revenue to pay those kickbacks, so guess what? It often gets left off the list entirely. Your choices are pre-selected to maximize profit for the provider, not your returns.
You know, when the creator of the system himself admits it was hijacked and corrupted by Wall Street, you really have to pay attention. He saw a loophole for tax-deferred savings. Wall Street saw a captive audience of tens of millions of workers that they could fleece for decades. And you know what? They succeeded.
So the system is corrupt, sure, but it thrives for one simple reason. We let it. It leverages our own mental shortcuts, our own cognitive biases, to make us willing participants in the fleecing of our own accounts. These biases are basically weapons used against you. Default bias means we just stick with whatever expensive target date fund we're automatically put into because it's easy. The free money fallacy makes us fixate on that 3% match, which is powerful, don't get me wrong. But it acts like a magician's misdirection. It draws our eye away from the 2% fee that's going to bleed us dry for the next 30 years. And then there's survivorship bias, which convinces us we can pick a winner, completely ignoring the data that shows the vast majority of active managers failed to even beat a simple index fund. This quote just captures the absurdity of it perfectly. We optimize for pennies in our daily lives, right? We'll drive across town to save a few bucks on groceries. But then we'll blindly sign paperwork that literally incinerates hundreds of thousands of dollars in our retirement accounts, simply because it's the default option and the fees are buried in the fine print. Okay, so we've proven the case. We've shown the flawed advice, the devastating math, the corrupt history, and the psychological traps. So now we move from diagnosis to prescription. This is the clear, actionable plan to take back control from this predatory system. This is the first and most critical move. The employer match is the only true free money in this entire equation. A 100% instant return is a powerful force, and in the short term, it can overwhelm the damage from high fees. So you contribute exactly enough to get 100% of that match. If they match 4%, you put in 4%, and then you stop. Every single dollar you contribute beyond that match is just naked capital. It's fully exposed to that fee virus without the protection of the match. Every dollar you invest beyond the match has to go into a vehicle where you are in complete control. That means a self-directed IRA or a Roth IRA. In an IRA, you choose the brokerage, Vanguard, Schwab, Fidelity, whoever, and you can buy anything you want, including these ultra-low-cost ETFs with fees of like 0.03%. You eliminate the middleman, you eliminate the kickbacks, and you eliminate the conflicts of interest. So this is the full protocol. Step 1, match and dash. Step 2, max out your tax-advantaged accounts where you have control. Your IRA, your Roth IRA, and if you have one, your health savings account. Only after all of those are completely full should you even think about putting more money into a high-fee 401k. At the same time, you have to become an activist for your own money. Audit your plan. Find the expense ratios. If they are above 0.5%, you are being robbed. Then you take this data to your HR department. Do it professionally. Ask for the plan's investment policy statement. Gently remind them of their fiduciary duty under ERISA law to act in your best interest. This isn't just a complaint, it's a request for prudence. Companies have been successfully sued for millions for offering plans with excessively high fees when cheaper, identical options were available.
Look, the crucial point is this. You have to stop treating your 401k like a savings account and start treating it like a contract with a hostile counterparty. You have to read the fine print, you have to question the defaults, and you have to understand that the system is not designed to benefit you. It's designed to profit from your passivity. The choice is yours. Continue to be the sharecropper or seize control of your own harvest.